Hey there guys, Portal Master here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about some brand new information that has recently come out. The EA has canceled another Star Wars game. This is wonderful. If people already didn't have enough reasons to hate EA for supposedly ruining all Star Wars video games, now they have even more of a reason to actually dislike EA for doing this. So we're going to talk a little bit about this Star Wars game and what exactly was canceled, because it's not like this was Battlefront 3. That's not what this was. It wasn't it wasn't another Star Wars Battlefront game. And it actually has a very interesting story behind this game. This game's actually effectively been canceled twice now, and that's what's kind of funny about this whole situation. So this game was actually originally designed by Visceral Games, and it was supposed to be this sort of linear single-player experience. And as we know, EA says that single-player games are dead, because yeah, of course we know that Breath of the Wild, God of War, Spider-Man, those were just flops. You know, those sold horribly. But anyway, because single-player games are dead, EA came in there and said, hey, Visceral Games, do you really want to make this a single-player Star Wars game? They were like, yeah. And they were like, okay, we'll just shut you down. So they basically shut down Visceral Games. It's that simple. So then they said, okay, EA Vancouver, you make this a game. And so they were like, okay, what do you want us to do? We want you to make it more in line with our vision for the franchise, which of course just means monetization, you know, in-game, microtransactions, because what do all true epic gamers want? Microtransactions. I mean, it's that simple, right? It's what I want, right? It's what you want, right? More microtransactions. So of course EA, in a wise move, said, okay, EA Vancouver, make us a game with more microtransactions that's not a single-player linear experience. They said, okay, we'll make an open-world an open-world experience that is, I'm not sure if it was actually multiplayer or not. I'm not sure if that information either came out. But the point is, it was not a single-player, non-branching game. It was non-linear, it was open world, and it had a lot more opportunities for microtransactions and a better monetization scheme for EA to take advantage of. Of course, exactly what all epic gamers want. So now, for some reason or another, this game has just been flat-out canceled. And I'm not sure I really understand why. I mean, I kind of understand why. It's EA, and EA doesn't really know how to handle the Star Wars IP. It's that simple. I mean, as it was put on Spawnwave, how do you mess up Star Wars? As many people will say, how do you mess up Star Wars? I'm not saying that Battlefront 2 was this horrible game, that had no redeeming qualities, because in all honesty, it had a bad monetization platform. The game itself was not irredeemable. It could have been better, but it wasn't the worst game ever released. It's just the monetization platform was what was so bad about Battlefront. But the thing that keeps coming back to me is that a single-player linear Star Wars game sounds amazing. Even an open world Star Wars game sounds amazing, and I don't understand why every game that gets released has to be this massive ordeal chock full of microtransactions for EA. Because the thing is that even you look at something like Spider-Man, for instance. Spider-Man had DLC, and it sold really dang well. Not only the base game, but also the DLC. It sold very well. A single-player linear game with DLC would have sold well if it was Star Wars themed. You could have sold really expensive collector's editions with all the DLC pre-packaged in. You could have made a crap ton of money, but for some reason they said, no, we're not doing this. We are just going to cancel it and move on to who even knows what else. I legitimately do not understand why Disney's allowing this to continue. I mean, they actually did call EA and say, hey, okay, look, we know that epic gamers love microtransactions. We know that that's what they want. But hey, the European Union wants to ban loot boxes, so you should probably knock it off before we get our butts sued. It's the truth. They basically had to call EA and said, hey, please stop doing this. Please stop making it this bad. The European Union legitimately does want to ban loot boxes because they believe it to be a form of gambling. EA is a train wreck, to be honest. There's like a competition for, I swear, but with these companies, with Activision, with EA, with Bethesda, to be the #1 most hated gaming company. It's like when a piece of news comes out and a new company is the new most hated video game company of all time, somebody else does something else. And now we're back to EA canceling another Star Wars game. I mean, there seriously feels like there's a competition to be the #1 most hated video game company. Whether or not you think that the hatred, the dislike is even legitimate or not, it's just comedic to me that so many of these companies don't understand seemingly how to do a monetization platform. And it's going to be really interesting because I think that this is coming to a head at this point. I think in the next few years we're going to start to see this thing. Companies are going to have to decide how they want to follow the monetization platform, and any other company that could take over, the Star Wars IP with a less monetized platform, could that influence the future of these franchises? It's just, there's a lot to look into here in the way of microtransactions. But anyway, EA wants microtransactions in Star Wars games. I don't know how much longer the contract is going, but it looks like EA has to make something, or else Disney really is going to take their contract away. So, I mean, I don't know. Anyways, tell me what you think about all this down in the comments below. I'd be really interested to see what you guys think about this news in relation to the Star Wars game getting canceled. I'll have a lot more content coming out soon. But for now, this has been Portal Master. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and shout out to all my patrons on Patreon, especially Cosmic Dragon Gaming, Portal Power TV, and Nacho S. See you guys next time.